In defense of Zack Snyder, as the internet tends to incentivize people express their opinions in pretty hostile ways, um, it just got me thinking about why I do like these movies. And if I'm honest, when people uh, are hostile towards the Zack Snyder DC movies, um, it gets my attention more than if they disliked, I don't know, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, which I like, or Lord of the Rings, which I also like. And I think it's because for me, these movies have a personal significance, so I want to talk about why I do like these movies and why I watch them. Frequently, I rewatch them. Start with, like, I heard one criticism. It's this gentleman by the name of Aaron Sparrow, who is a comic book writer and quite knowledgeable in the field of comics, and a Christian. And I was surprised that he was derisive of the fans of Zack Snyder, and especially derisive of their defense of those movies for having themes. Mr. Aaron Sparrow, all due respect, seemed to think that this was a negative way of defending those movies, which is a little bit unusual. I may have misunderstood, and I'm sorry if I have. I don't mean to have any disrespect. I did reach out to Mr. Aaron Sparrow for a different thing for editing services, and he was very courteous to me. And professional, so I don't mean this as some sort of like takedown or hot take or anything like that. It's just a way for me it's a departure point for me to be able to discuss this topic. Personally, I do like themes in the stories that I like to read or the movies I like to watch. And personally, there are some themes in the Zack Snyder DC movies that are important to me on a personal level, and I'd like to talk about that. So, one of the themes in those movies is the wrestling with this idea that there is a being who can decide between life and death for others. So Superman kind of represents the divine being, which has transcendent power and the ability to choose who lives and who dies, which is actually a very intense topic to consider, right? Now there's this is illustrated when Superman decides to destroy the genetic potential of Krypton, which Zod had come to Earth to repopulate, right?
Stop! If you destroy this ship, you destroy Krypton! Krypton had its chance!
So we have a being who's decides the fate of an entire people, an entire race, right, of people. To me, that's quite Christian, In the Man of Steel movie, Jor-El in the past warns the Kryptonian people that if they do not change their ways, death will come upon them.
Do you not understand? Krypton's core is collapsing. We may only have a matter of weeks. I warned you. Harvesting the core was suicide. It has accelerated the process of implosion.
Our energy reserves were exhausted. What would you have us do, Al?
Look to the stars. Like our ancestors did. There are habitable worlds within reach. We can begin by using the old outposts.
Are you seriously suggesting that we evacuate the entire planet?
No. Everybody here is already dead. Give me control of the Codex. I will ensure the survival of our race. There is still hope.
Right? So you could see Jor-El as a sort of prophet. And the Kryptonians do not change their ways. And the planet dies. So Superman simply is standing in judgment and not letting the Kryptonian people reject the consequences of their actions. So Jor-El, which is Superman's father, puts his son in a basket, right? Similar to the Moses story.
Goodbye, my son. Our hopes and dreams travel with you.
In this case, a spaceship. So to me, it's all already baked into those original stories of Superman, who were written by two Jews. So it seems pretty clear to me that they borrowed from their faith to make this character. So I don't think it's much of a stretch to say those are the themes, and that there are themes. Contrary to a bit of a trend in the anti-woke YouTuber people, is to say that stories are meant to entertain and not preach. I agree that stories should not be lecturing the readers, but I don't believe that the priority is to entertain. I believe that the priority is to serve the story, or if you want to be more Christian about it, the priority is to serve God with the story. And I think Tolkien did it very well. He did honor his faith in the stories he told, but he didn't lecture the reader. And I feel that Zack Snyder did that very well. Teamed up with some good writers. He needs good writers around him. Snyder's more of an ideas guy. He needs people around him that help him with details. Okay, back to the themes. Now, in the follow-up movie, Batman vs. Superman, we have the character who has no divine powers, Batman, who stands in sort of like for the human perspective. And we find him in the story late in his journey, and he's become quite cynical and quite nihilistic and pragmatic, to the point where Superman, a divine being, to him essentially becomes just a calculation to solve. We have him say that in a scene with Alfred.
New rules.
We're criminals, Alfred. We've always been criminals. Nothing's changed.
That son of a bitch brought the war to us 2 years ago. Jesus, Alfred, count the dead. Thousands of people. What's next? Millions. He has the power to wipe out the entire human race, and if we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. And we have to destroy him.
But he is not our enemy.
Not today. 20 years in Gotham, Alfred. We've seen what promises are worth. How many good guys are left? How many stayed that way? 14 hours.
And so he decides that there shouldn't be a person who can choose between life and death for others. So he takes it upon himself to kill God. So we kind of see a nihilism, a modern and postmodern nihilism represented in the character of Batman later in this journey. And then here's where it comes the personal part. What stops Batman from killing God, from finally, I guess, becoming completely an atheist, is that is the intercession of God's mother.
I bet your parents taught you that you mean something. That you're here for a reason. My parents taught me a different lesson. Dying in the gutter for no reason at all. You were never a god. You were never even a man. You're letting him kill Martha. What does that mean? Why did you say that name? Find him! Save Martha! Why did you say that name? Martha, why did you say that name?
Stop! Please, stop!
Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name! It's his mother's name.
So the Martha scene, to me, that's what it represents. There's this idea in some Christian thought that some people have more difficulty approaching God because to them he is an intimidating figure, a father figure who is a judge, who does discipline, is difficult to approach, right? And so God saw it to provide for human beings and an ability to become familiar with his mercy and his love and his gentleness through the incarnation, and then also through his mother as intercessor. I think that's a bit more of a Catholic kind of perspective. So Batman, at that point, when encountering, when realizing that to kill God would be to kill his mother, because his mother's role is to be a mother. So if she doesn't have a son, then she's no longer a mother. So that would kill her. It would end her identity. It would kill her. And he realizes that they are in a similar image. That Superman isn't someone to fear, but it is someone to know. So he makes a turnaround at that point and saves Martha. In the next movie after that, Batman does regain faith and accepts that to have a divine being who has extraordinary power is a good thing if you can trust that person. So he learns to trust to the point that he regrets his actions, repents, and and then resurrects his faith.
I failed him in life. I won't fail him in death.
Clark, no! Clark, no. This world needs you.
He'll be here, Alfred, I know it.
What makes you so sure?
Faith, Alfred. Faith.
Now, there's a criticism made of Zack Snyder that he really wanted an evil Superman. But the thing is when you're tackling the subject of God, you can't really ignore the reality that the concept of God has been used for evil. So there was going to be some exploration of that. So Superman sometimes is corrupted, and we see that. Now we're entering speculation because we didn't get those movies in the future where he was going to be subjugated, right? and be used for evil purposes by Darkseid. So, listen, maybe you didn't like the movies and this didn't convince you. I'm not really looking to convince you. This is just some thoughts I wanted to share and try to put something positive out there to the discussion. There's talk again of restore the Snyderverse because the James Gunn Superman movie didn't perform as well, I think, as the studio would have liked. These studios, they're taskmasters. They really it's got to make $1 billion, and yeah. So I'm just trying to inject some positivity into that discussion, and also it's an interesting topic to me. So like the movie, dislike the movie, it's all good. I've presented a bit of my defense. It's not really defense, it's more like I'm sharing my personal experience with these movies, and the reason I keep going back to them, because these are themes that resonate with me, that are important to me, that I personally wrestle with. So I like seeing that explored in a rock'em sock'em movie about superheroes, and but I also love the action. I love the music. I like that a lot of the action scenes happen at night. For me, that gives them more gravitas. I did enjoy the Marvel movies, but I've never really rewatched them. To me, there's really nothing more to get out of them. Once you've watched them, you kind of know them already, so there's no reason to rewatch those movies for me. For me, the way the Zack Snyder movies are made, when you watch them the first few times, there's still some questions, and then you'll watch them a fourth time or whatever, and then you pick up on a little scene and you realize that's an answer to that question. So for me, there's a lot of rewatchability there. I really like them. So those are my random thoughts about the Zack Snyder DC movies. I hope you have a good week. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.